Yes, guys, today I will be showing you the full 52k a month funnel breakdown. So please grab a notebook and start making notes because this could start to make you print as a coach. So let's get started. So, a quick introduction. Like I said, we will be going through the full 52k a month info product breakdown, which helps coaches scale through existing audience using various funnels. Don't worry, there is no ads and there is no crazy amount of extra work that will catch on your sleep. So, just a bit more about myself. So, my name is Rain. I help coaches and biz owners scale their coaching offer or start one if they don't have one and get the results that they actually deserve. So, in other words, I make the rich a lot richer. I essentially do this by implementing the same funnels that some of these big names have, like Brescale, CJR, Hudson Cosmos, you can see here. And I literally implement the same backend systems as well that will help them scale. That's me right there. Come on, boys. So before we jump into any more of the funnel, yeah, who is this actually for? Who is this suitable for? So this actually only works for you if you already have clients and proven results. Let me even change the color on that bad boy. If you already have clients and proven results, that's spelled wrong. If you actually generate 5 to 20k month currently without any optimized, like without like this is just straight you, this is just all the work that you've done, you haven't had no growth or break coming or whatever, you are actually selling a high ticket product currently, or you are willing to scale from a low ticket. So many of you guys probably have a low ticket community, such as the traders, such as the resellers, that you're selling for maybe $100 a month or whatever. So if you're actually willing to scale from that, then this is for you. You actually have 1 to 5,000 real organic followers. So followers that actually follow you, followers that are active, not some botted followers from Pakistan or anything. I don't have anything from Pakistan, but followers that are actually real and they actually match what you sell or you want, or what you want to sell. And you are wanting and being able to handle client acquisition. So what I mean by that is that you are actually able to handle new clients, because if you can't handle any new clients, then you will not be able to meet the fulfillment, and that's when you will not get results and will be bad on your rep. So who is this not for? This will not work for you if you are not interested in scaling, if you have no social proof with testimonials, because this is what actually brings in the clients, and if you have no existing clients. So if you've never had a client, there is no possible way that this funnel will work for you, because this funnel relies a lot on the proof and testimonials from past clients. And like I said before, if you can't handle 5 to 10 new clients currently, this will not work for you, unfortunately. So let's get into the stack acquisition system. So we will start off from the bottom of the pyramid where we get the attention. So what this funnel will allow you to do is to capture interest with what your market audience actually wants. So we will do this by implementing market research and understand what they actually want rather than what you think that they want, because what you think that they want might not be what they actually want. And then we will capture this, and then we will turn this attention into engaged leads. We'll funnel them into your YouTube, into your Instagram, and get them to actually watch you and start to know you. And through this, we will actually nurture these leads and build trust through a lot of free value. So once you handle a lot of leads, you will know that these leads actually trust you through the free value that you're offering. Maybe you have a 4-hour course that will build a lot of free value. You might not get the crazy amount of views on it, but the leads that are watching that, they are going to be so high quality and so high intent that the value will be crazy. And through these leads, we will funnel them over to a landing page, and that page they'll be able to book a call, and then they will enter our sales process. So these warm leads will jump on the closing calls with our proven closers, with the proven frameworks, and we will understand if one, they can even join your mentorship and actually get results, and two, if they are truly qualified. But where but okay sorry about that, but we will actually already know if they are financially qualified from the type form and the actual process of qualification that we have done beforehand. But what we are actually doing when we get them to jump on these schools is really understand if this is for them, because having low quality clients will just lead to bad results and give you a bad rep. So we will get them to jump on these closing calls with proven frameworks and understand if they can really join. Then after this is what all coaches want, to close the actual leads. We turn these prospects into real and genuine paying clients. So after that, you will be making a lot more money because the leads that you're actually getting are qualified and they are actually high intent. So let me get a bit more about into this, right? So sorry about them. So like I mentioned before, we will have a market research, a discovery phase. So the best way to actually get attention is to figure out what people actually pay attention to. We don't guess, we ask through story questions, through maybe each video saying drop down in the comments what you actually need, what you actually might need help with, like through simple things like that. Maybe if you have a low ticket community, you go into the community and you start asking questions of what these people actually want, of what they actually need. So we will have a strategic interview process where it will allow us to reveal that what their biggest goals are, what are their desired outcomes, the time frames for results. Because if you can't physically match the time frames that these people want, offering a mentorship will not do you any good because you cannot meet their needs. We will also research into their past failures, what didn't work for them and why. What bottlenecks have they had in the past that didn't allow them to scale? So this will allow us to understand what we can, one, give free value on, two, understand what is really going on and understand how we may be able to help them. And we'll understand their deep frustrations and roadblocks. Maybe they have a deeper pain on why they are actually doing all of this. And we can tie this down to the mentorship and we might be able to help them to actually solve that pain by joining our mentorship and scaling to however much money they want or whatever. Or you get. Step two is creating an irresistible offer. Irresistible, let me highlight this in the box. Irresistible offer. So building the offer based on demand and not assumption. This keeps coming up because it is so important. We cannot assume that these people want what they want. We need to actually know what they want so we can meet the demand. So we have four main pillars of an offer. We have the end result, the time frame, the roadblock removal, and the guarantee. So the end result, this is what is probably going to get you the most attention, because no one is joining an offer or joining a mentorship or starting a business model because they like the process. They are all looking for an end result. That could be 10k a month, that could even be bigger numbers for bigger coaches, 30 to 40k a month and all that sort of stuff. So we need to know the specific goal that the market is actually hungry for, and then we need to understand the time frame that they are trying to do it in. Like I mentioned here before, if you cannot meet their time frame, there will be no point of selling a mentorship. So we need a realistic and market validated timeline. So we need to actually gain a lot of market research from your existing audience through, like I said, Instagram questions and all that sort of stuff to actually know what they need. We need to remove the roadblocks that they may have. So we need to directly address and solve their previous failures. So by doing this, we will allow them to pre-objection handle what they might actually be scared of when they jump on a closing call. They said, oh yeah, I'm scared this might not work. Oh, I don't have the money. And what if it doesn't work? Like, I don't want to go all in and stuff. So we need to actually address that early. And then we need to have a guarantee, a conditional guarantee that removes all buyer risk. I would only recommend this if you are genuinely sure that no matter that a large proportion of the people that will join your mentorship will actually get results, because you can't say I will help you make 10 grand in the next 90 days, but you're only saying that just so you can get them to close. You need to be actual, you need to be actually able to get them to 10k a month or whatever they want in them 90 days, because otherwise that guarantee will just lose you money, because you'll be able to close them, but are you actually going to be able to get them to results so you don't have to refund them in 3 month times or whatever? So this guarantee has to be a real guarantee that you can match, not just a guarantee that attracts people to close. So while we're going on to the next, we have the content engine, we have the sales assets, and the nurturing process. So we have the high converting assets that are done for you. These assets are the assets that a lot of big people are using, such as the VSL, the video sales letter, which will be professionally scripted by us, resulting in a 20 to 30% increase in the qualified calls and a 20% show up rate and a 15% higher close rate. Like I mentioned before, they would have been pre-objection handled. So I have an example here. Hudson Cosper, he's going nuts right now, but he is literally, like, if you can see, like, a lot of his content is just mental stuff, but he does drop a couple of videos on his YouTube with free value to pre-objection handle. And if you go and have a look at his landing page, we can see that he has a VSL here that pre-objection handles and what people might actually be fearing of. So what this allows him to do is, it allows his closer to be a lot more smoother on the call, which the only objection that they might actually have is the money objection. Like, they might want to do everything, but they physically cannot do it because of the money. So that's the only objection that the closer might have. But apart from that, there shouldn't be any other objection, because this VSL would have pre-objection handled every single possible objection that the growth operator that's running this offer has probably market researched and found. So that's what the VSL allows you to do. And then the content volume, 25 pieces of short and long form content per month across all platforms. As you can see, Hudson has been posting consistently for so much time that he's built so much trust with his audience. And if you go and have a look at his Instagram, I don't know if you have a look at his Instagram, but if you go and have a look at his Instagram, you can see that he does the same there. He nurtures the leads and he builds genuine trust with them. And if we go and have a look at where are we? Oh yeah, and if we go and have a look at, we also have the master doc breakdown. This will be, I don't know if Hudson's running this right now, but you might be on your story, well, not you, well, a BizOp owner might be on their story, and they will post a lead magnet that will allow them for 10 to 15 daily opt-ins. What this allows you to do, it allows you to build why listen to you trust, because you're actually dropping serious free game and serious free source. This is due to the simple fact that you're sending them a document with so much source that they're like, yo, I genuinely need to trust this guy. Like, there's no way that this guy is just like talking a whole lot of nothing. Like, he actually knows what he's doing. And this builds some of the most important trust of why should someone actually listen to you? Why should I? Because if you want someone to buy from you, they need to even trust you to even look at your videos, like, let alone start working with you. Like, they need to trust you. So dropping these kind of documents will allow them to do that, because they think you're expecting nothing in return, but what you're doing is actually nurturing them and building a trust, because all you're asking for is probably an email, phone number, and a name. This will allow you to have a lead list of people that have opted in, and you know that they are interested. They might not be of the highest intent, but they are genuinely interested in what you're doing. And this will build that trust for them to watch your videos, to keep up with you, and probably start to think about joining your mentorship, because they genuinely trust and believe in what you do. So we have the 97% nurture system. Most coaches actually ignore the 90% of people that are not ready to buy today, but we capture them. Like I said, people might not be ready to buy today, but if you're actually dropping so much free source through your VSLs, through your content, through your master doc breakdowns, then they are going to be like, yo, when I have the money, I'm going to buy from this guy. I'm not going to look at no other coaches. I'm going to buy from this guy because, one, you've built a why listen to you trust free. I mean two. I mean two. You keep popping up on their feed, and they can see that you keep posting. So you're not just a one-off guy. You're actually consistently posting, and you're actually dropping free value over and over and over again. So this will allow you to nurture the leads over a long amount of time. They might not buy today, but they might buy 3 months later, 6 months later. There's been cases where people have opted in for a master doc breakdown, and they have probably bought, well, they have actually bought 2 years later. That's a whole lot of time where you've nurtured the lead to a point where it's the easiest close. Like, it could even become a DM close when they do this. So this is very, very important. So what are these components in the 97% nurture system? These components are automated email sequences. So where are you going to get these emails? You're going to get them from the daily opt-ins, and you will keep sending free value to these emails. You can send 3 emails a day, but you don't want these emails to go to spam. So you need to choose. We will help you choose the right language that it doesn't send it to spam, and it keeps popping up, and it's genuine free value. The VSO landing pages, if your VSO is actually good and pre-objection handling, because we will script it for you and we will make it of such quality that is going to pre-objection handle to a point where, like I said, that the only objection that they might have is that they physically cannot do it due to the money. And then this will allow you to build that trust that when they have the money, they will go ahead and buy. Then we have the back-end automations. This can be SMS and, like I mentioned before, the emails. So you can start sending them emails daily, weekly, whatever you want, just as long as it's not becoming a spam and they don't desubscribe and you're dropping genuine free value. You can do it for as much as you want, but these emails need to be funneled to somewhere. So we will help you actually funnel these emails to somewhere that is actually valuable. Normally, if the person is not ready to buy and you have a low ticket community, then that is a very good way to get them in your ecosystem for the minimum. You could get them to jump on your free Discord community, and now they are generally in your ecosystem rather than on the email where it's a bit awkward. So this will allow you to actually, like I said, build trust and generally nurture this 97% leads that are not ready to buy today. So that's all for the content engine. Here we have the human engine, the appointment setters. This section actually details the inbound setting control and human management. So you may be asking, if you don't know what an appointment setter is, then like I don't know what to tell you, but I'll tell you anyways. Literally, an appointment setter is a person that would go into the DMs, or will have a lead list through the calls that have opted in. So they will get their number and they will be cold calling. That's a social development representative, an SDR pretty much, yeah. And then you have a DM cell. They will jump on your account and they will message all the inbound leads maybe from your story CTAs and all that sort of stuff, and they will have conversations with them and get them to book on the call after qualifying them, 1, through commitment, and 2, financially, because you don't want someone that can't pay today. But if they physically, like I said, if they can't pay, or if they're not qualified financially, these will be funneled onto your low ticket system if you have one. Then if not, we will try to capture their email and, like I said before, nurture the leads. So we will actually place and train the setters inside your business, so you will not have to do anything. You're pretty much hands off. And then what they actually do, like I mentioned, they engage with likes, comments, followers, group requests, and story interactions. This is probably where your appointment setters are going to be the most active. Story interactions. Story call to actions are the easiest way to get people in your DMs, because stories, you just keep scrolling, like they're just at the top of the Instagram page. Like if you're seeing someone with a reel and they're telling you, oh yeah, DM me now, blah blah blah, they can just scroll off easily. But with a story, it's actually like a FaceTime call, like it's right there in the face. So story interactions are probably where your appointment setters will be getting the most lead from. So the daily KPI standards will be to outreach 100 new messages per day. This is dependent on the offer size. If your offer is small, then they will not, what am I drawing? If your offer is small, then they might not be able to actually hit those 100 messages per day, and the follow-ups 50 per day, on the results 2-3 booked. and the results 2 to 3 booked calls minimum per day. So this truly depends on your offer, but we will tone it down and we will actually make it specific to your offer. But they will have these KPIs to actually keep a high standard, because we don't want sets to be placed on your offer and they are not doing nothing, or they are actually not bringing value to the business. So we have a bit of a return on investment math example here. Say, for example, you do have a high ticket offer of about $3,000, and then the weekly volume is of 5 new clients. This will allow you for $15,000 in 7 days. And this is actually a very realistic result of having an appointment start implemented. Because if you're actually getting a lot of leads in the DMs, and they might just want to be able to feel like they can talk to you, or they might just want to think that they can talk to you, then having a DM set will allow you to do this as you are building genuine trust, and you can objection handle them in real time without having them on a call. So what is the vetting and management process? So we will interview and vet every single appointment setter through our community, and you will have the final say every single time, not only for your appointment setters but for your closers, because we don't want someone to jump on that you don't like, or you don't think that will be good for the business, or that you don't have that their values don't match with yours, their work ethic might not match with yours. So we want someone that you actually believe in and that they will actually help you. And if we think that someone is really good and you don't believe in them, we will try to show you how that person is good. But if you're still not happy with that person, then we won't go ahead with them, because at the end of the day, you have the final say. And then we will have them on daily monitoring. We have them checking through their CRMs, their customer review management. We will actually be tracking the messages that they send, and like I said, their KPIs and stuff, and we will be managing them daily. So this will allow us to understand if, one, they're putting in the work, and two, if they are actually good at what they're saying. We will actually give them ongoing support matched to your offer, and you will be on these calls as well. We'll have about probably with us 3 to 4 times a week, but you might only jump on one of these calls to actually know how the offer's running and what you might be able to help with. Maybe we could give you some content ideas so you can actually get better quality leads, and this will allow us to actually have a higher result with the setters, because we don't want setters that are in the dark, that they don't know what's going on, they actually don't know what they're doing, they don't know where the leads are coming from, they don't know when you're posting, they don't know when to be ready, they don't know when they should be active if you might be posting a story and they need fast reply times. So this ongoing support will allow us to do this. Okay, on to the next. What's going on here then? What's next then? Implementation, the return on investment, and the guarantee. This section actually maps out the timeline and the financial expectations. So this will be an 8-week launch roadmap. So in week 1 to 2, you will start to distribute the content that we have helped you make, and the setter will start outreach. Lead magnets will also go live, but this also depends on how much traction you're getting at the moment. Because if you're getting 15 views on your story, I promise you a lead magnet is not going to get you anywhere. Like, it's not going to help you. Like, so we need to actually start bringing in traffic into your profile. We will do this through, like I said, the content distribution. This content distribution will allow the traffic to come in, and it will allow you to understand what the people actually like. And the setter will start to outreach to these likes, to these followers, to these comments, and then once we're actually getting enough traction, the lead magnet will go live. So when this lead magnet goes live, what's this all about then? When this lead magnet actually goes live, they will actually start to just have conversations with these people. It might get to a point where we might need 2 setters on your account, because we're getting so many DMs from these lead magnets through the organic traffic. Week 3 to 4, this is where the momentum will start. Booked calls will actually start coming in through the leads and through the content that you're posting that has so much resource that you have built. That why trust you trust. Why should I listen to you? You have built that through the content that you are making. The nurture sequences will actually start to warm up the leads. Like I mentioned, the leads will be nurtured to a point where they trust you without even ever having jumped on a call with any of your closers or even yourself. So this will allow us to increase book calls and of course close calls in the end. So week 5 to 8, the scaling process. This is the 5 to 10 clients per week. And like I mentioned before, if you're running a 3K offer, that's from 15 to 30K a week. That's literally 90K, 120K a month. So that is quite a bit of money. So at this point, we don't want you to focus on anything else but delivery. Because like I mentioned before, we need to be able to fulfill these clients. And it might get to a point where if you don't have results and we have actually gotten these 5 to 10 clients in a week, we will stop the offer. Just so you can get genuine results, get testimonials, and get real live proof and live case studies, which will allow us to scale in the future. So here we have some revenue scenarios. So this is the conservative. So this is 2 to 3 booked calls a day without our actual systems. 60% of the people show up due to various factors, such as no post booking call landing page, no email reminders, no email free value after the call. Maybe your Calendly allows them to book a month in advance and they lose interest, and this will decrease your show up rate. Because if I book a call today, Friday 1st of May, and the call is not until June the 16th, I promise you the chances of me showing up will be so low that I've probably lost interest. Like I probably even forgot what the call was about. And this will give you a 64% close rate because the people were not going to be as motivated, it's not going to be as highly intentional and all of that sort. This might give you, on the best case scenario, 5 to 6 clients a week, but it is not optimal because you are not maximizing your potential. This might get you 60 to 72K a month depending on how much you're charging for your offer, but this will not allow you to scale as the back-end systems are weak and you are literally going based off luck. So the optimized, after we came in, will be 3 to 4 booked calls a day and probably even higher, an 86% show up rate, which is actually amazing, as pretty much 8 out of 10 people will show up, and this will allow us to have an 8 out of 10 people closing. This will of course allow you to have more clients, make a lot more money, which here, for depending on your offer size, is 108K to 132K a month. But this is after the optimized backend systems have been implemented. So this is like the email sequences, the free value, maybe your YouTube view dropped a 4-hour course or whatever, and you are actually making so much value that these people have started to trust you and have that why listen to you trust. Why should I even listen to you? Why should I even jump on a call with you? Like all that sort of stuff. And then what is a qualified call? What is a call that we can actually say they were qualified, and on our on our CRM we can actually label them as a qualified call. So this call, or this lead, would have came in through our funnel, they would have attended the call, they match the ideal criteria: 1, financially; 2, through the end goals; and 3, through their commitment, and has the budget/authority. So if they are not authorized to do something without asking someone else, their wife, their mom, whatever, then they do not have the authority, they do not have the final say, and they might not be up for the system, or they might not be up for the mentorship, and they have the budget, they can actually drop the 5K, the 3K, or whatever your offer is. So that is what a qualified call actually is, and that is what a good lead is at the end of the day. So these are some frequently asked questions. So the timing. The first calls actually usually start with 7 to 10 days of implementation. By implementation, we mean 7 to 10 days since the first call that we've had, because we run a quick launch offer to actually know how your audience will respond to this. So this will allow you to get results as fast as possible, because we don't want to launch 6 months after we've actually jumped on a call. We want to launch as fast as possible so we can get the market research done and over with, and we can actually start to see what these people want and the objections that they're having, and we can pre-objection handle in our VSL and on our free value. The audience. Should you have a crazy big audience? The simple answer is no. So if you have 1,000 high quality offers, it is enough to hit 50k a month. Don't get it twisted though, 1,000 followers on TikTok and Instagram do not have the same value as 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. This is due to the simple fact that YouTube is a long form platform with high intent users only. I don't know if you've seen, but there's a lot of people out there with 500 views on their videos, but they are genuinely printing 100k a month. Why, you may be asking? Because the people that are watching these videos are genuinely high intent to a point where they are ready to buy, and the person that's making those videos has built the why should I listen to you trust. I keep mentioning and I keep banging on about this, but that is the truth. The why should I listen to you trust is the thing that makes the most sense. Let's take Briscoes for example. He's built such a why should I listen to you trust through his lifestyle and the fact that he actually has a real business that gets results. So people genuinely listen to him even when he's dropping a 10-second story on Instagram, because he's built that sort of trust. He's not just talking a whole lot of nothing. And then the capacity. If you cannot handle the clients, like I mentioned before, we will stop the offer due to the simple fact that you will not be able to get the desired results, and you will not be able to scale it. You will be focused on the money so much that the fulfillment will go to waste, and in the long run it's just not going to be helpful, is it? So we can actually slow down or speed up your offer depending on what you can handle and what you are actually doing. So the difference between us and the ads agency or a VA is that we are a full stack solution. So what is a full stack solution, maybe asking? So we have the strategy, content wise, backend system wise, we have the tech, the CRMs, the SMS, I think automations, the email automations, and we have the people. We have the mass of people that we can implement into your business: closers, appointment setters, even video editors if you want for your videos. So the next 3-step action plan that I would recommend, and if you have gotten this far in the video, then you are probably qualified to do this and you are probably willing to scale. So what I would like you to do is to go down in the link below and schedule a free 45-minute free strategy call. I will not try to close you. All I'm going to do is I'm going to audit and identify the bottlenecks and map a custom plan. This plan will just be a quick custom plan that will take us probably 15 to 20 minutes of what your business is actually struggling with or what you might be able to do to actually scale. So in this call, don't worry, I will not pressure you to close. I just want to understand what you think is going wrong and what is actually going wrong. So the decision after this call is a partnership or we go separate ways. Look at it in this. You could actually join and become a partner with me and scale your business, which will allow you to make a lot more money in the long run and everyone's happy. Or you can go our separate ways, but the beauty about that is that you are walking away with the free value. But the question is, can you actually implement the free value? And if you're watching this video, the simple answer is probably no. So what I would recommend for you to do is to actually just take this custom roadmap and actually understand, can I implement this? And then if not, just get on a partnership. But let me tell you one thing. There is an opportunity cost, as with everything in life. There is the cost of waiting. You are currently losing money through inconsistent flow and wasted content. You might be pumping out 30 reels a week, but you cannot actually sustain this due to the simple fact that the reels are low quality and they are not getting you anywhere rather than more videos posted on your account. So what we're actually having is we have low availability. We only have 2 to 3 spots left for this month, depending on how many coaches actually close with me. So we only have 2 to 3 spots left this month, and that's the only people I'm taking on, 2 to 3 this month. And after that, I will not be opening up any more spots until I am actually ready to do so. So this will be your only chance to genuinely book and see if you are fit. And the closing thought is, the question is, it's not that if it can work, because it's proven that it can work. The question is, how much longer are you genuinely willing to leave money on the table? Because this is a proven funnel with a lot of people, as we have seen. One of the main examples is Hudson Cosmo. He's probably making about 100k a month from this. Breast Scales with a funnel similar to this hit a 4 mil month. I know you're not as big as Breast Scales, and I know I'm not as big as PA's Growth Operator, but the fact of the matter is that the back-end systems are still the same. So us implementing this will allow you to get to your maximum revenue point. So if you are genuinely serious about this, go down to the link in the bio and actually start to take action. Because how much longer are you genuinely willing to leave money on the table? With that being said, see you guys later.